Hello everyone, it's Rita here and welcome to Sunday Slow Stitching with Rita. I have finished doing this 1930s journal cover for my junk journal, and I had it open as one piece, and when I folded it together to put my journal pages in here, it was just too small. I hadn't made it large enough. So, because I was using a 12 by 9 piece, which I do a lot of times, but I can put lace or something on the edges to help it, but it just didn't seem like it was working right. So, what I did was I cut it in half. And you could do that, unless you're going to go right through the middle of some great design that you did. Like I have these little buds back here, but they're hidden away, and now I didn't cut through them. I put these pennies here. They're all from the 70s. It's the oldest pennies I could find in my penny stash. And I did some buttons here, buttons across here. I added buttons down this side of it. French knots, very simple little stuff. Just some cross stitches there, just some regular straight stitching up in here, running stitch, some chevron stitch, I think it's called, herringbone, and I may do a little more. I think up in this corner I need some more stitching. So what I was going to show you to start with, and then I'll get to my little bird box thing. So this is the journal that I've made, and I've got it all sewn in to the outside cover, which is an Amazon bag that, for shipping. And I just took the used bag and recycled it and put a piece of a digital page over the top of this, just so that this side would have some color, because these aren't going to wrap around anymore. So this page here will go on the front like this, just like that. And this page, or this part of the cover, will go on the back, just like this. And then this part will still be showing. So, and I could cover that with some lace or something if I wanted to put a strip of lace across the back here. But when I get closer to finishing everything up, I'll decide. And then I'll be gluing all this down to this envelope that I've used. So the only thing I was going to share with you now is that I want to put a button here, because I need to, since it won't stay closed at this point, I need to put something around it to hold it down. So rather than, you could just, tie a bow on the side like so, which might not be too bad of a deal. I'm just using this homespun fabric just to give you an idea of what I'm doing. But I can put a button right here. Oops, right here. And then I can wrap it around a couple times. Let me see if I can do it. I would wrap it around a couple times maybe. And then I would just pull it over the top of the button. I would leave more on the wraparound part. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I thought that was going to be long enough, but we'll see. Okay, so anyway, to get to the button. So I want to make one similar to this, and I thought I'd just share with you how I did that. You just need a piece of fabric. And then you can make a template if you want, because it doesn't have to be perfect on the back. So I'm just going to cut around this circle, leaving maybe 1/4 of an inch around. I did one earlier with the template, and it wasn't quite enough. I didn't make it quite big enough, so I'm make it easier on myself. And just go around it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay? And then if you have a piece of felt or batting or something like that, you need to make a circle to go on the top of your button. And the button I'm using, I don't know if I can mark this, but I don't really want it overhanging. I want it to be just on the top of the button, a little bit of padding. I'm using a shank style button because I don't want it to lay flat down on the page. And then you would have to sew through the top of your button to attach it. But this way we can sew into the shank, and that will give room to allow us to put the ribbon or whatever you're going to put around the outside of your journal. Okay, so now that little piece is stuck on there. I'm just going to put a little glue stick on here. I just want this felt to stay in place. Okay. Then, is that the piece I cut out? Doesn't look big enough. Probably have the same situation here. I don't know. I don't think that's big enough. I don't think it's big enough. I'm going to have to cut a little bit more. Gosh. Because I really didn't allow for the sides enough. Wish I had a template. Somewhere I do have templates, different sizes. But what can I use that would help me? Let me get my punch here, and I'll just, this is a 2-inch punch. I don't know, that might be too big. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was going to be, this isn't very thick, so it's not going around the edge. It's not cardboard. If you're going to make a template, do cardboard, and then you can keep it. Let's see if this works better. I did it on the first button I tried it on, and it works, but I just felt like I wasn't able to get it tight as I would like it. Okay. That might be too big. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just take a little bit off of this circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. All right, let's try it. So, kind of make this the same as you make a yo-yo, except on a yo-yo, you would turn the edges over. Okay, we're going to put a knot at the end of this so it doesn't go through. And we're just going to stitch around the outside. And you don't want your stitches to be too big. And I'm hoping this will fit, though. You don't want them to be too big because then they won't gather tight enough. They'll be very spread out. The gathers will be. So the tighter, the smaller the stitch, the tighter your gathers will be, and they'll lay down much smoother. I used to make these all the time. You could also get, if you wanted to, you could use what do you call it? A button maker. You know, the shank button makers where you But, to cover fabric covered. I can't even talk today. Okay, that's because was trying to hurry to get this started, and then I, of course, messed up. All right, so now we're going to place our button in the middle, and then we're just going to pull it. Now see, it was just a hair too big, but I think I can still manage. So when you gather it up, you get a nice little round button. And you might have to play with it a little bit too, because sometimes it does get a little kink in it. But then I'm just going to take this across a few times. Either way, just to secure it. Just go around the button. Or go back and forth. You don't have to go around it. I just do. Okie doke. So now, then I'll end it close to the shank as I can. All right, so now we're going to set this on here. And I'm just going to go straight down with the button. And back up again and try to hit that, go through that shank. Tighten it back up. Go back down. Shank buttons have never been easy for me to work with because they're always kind of loose. There should be an easier way, but come on, you know. I put hand lotion on. I shouldn't have done that. Can't get a grip. Okay. So I went a couple times. It doesn't have to be. I mean, this thread is probably not going to break. I don't think. So if you get it to 2 or 3 times through the shank, you should be okay. And then on the back, you're going to maybe do a couple stitches, and you'll also catch some of the fabric on the back of the button if you can. Okay, and then I'm just going to do one more, and I'll make a knicker knot here. You put the thread over the top of your needle or behind your needle, and take these 2 threads that are hanging and go back the opposite direction like a figure 8. Pull it through, and it makes a nice tight knot. Okay, so there we have a button, and I think it's, oops, I think it'll be on there. Lost my needle. Sturdy enough. I don't think it'll fall off. And it gives a little room for your tie to go around it. Okay, so that's done. Except the little bit of stitching I need to do on this one. Oh, there's my needle. I couldn't find it. So yeah, it's primitive, and that's what I wanted. Now on the binding on these, all I did was just took a strip of fabric, and I folded it. I don't know what that is. A strip of my fabric and folded it over, and then just did a running stitch all around it. There's no turning at the edges. They're just kind of free form because it's primitive, and I didn't care if it was all nice and smooth and even. So if you do, you could do like a regular binding when you like make a quilt, but that's a lot of work. I think I just like slow stitching because it can be just done any way you want, or you could just do a blanket stitch all around the outside. If you wanted it like that, you could. I've done that before. in some of my other ones. So, let me grab, I didn't really get far with this. I did all the stitching. I don't know if I showed you this. I think I did. So, lace and everything is sewn down in the back, and I still have to sew on this, which I'm going to start here in a minute. But first, I decided I had this, let me show you. I had this, my mom made this. Okay, so there's a butterfly. A few years ago, I would say, when she was about 89. She passed away last year. She was 91. And I had these little pieces that she had stitched. Now, we all have pillows with this stitching on it from all different flowers. So all of her children have one. So I felt like it wouldn't be bad if I cut it. It took me a minute to do it, but I finally gave in. And so that's the way it looked before I cut it. And then I decided I was going to arrange it, like the butterfly and this flower. And so these would all be attached in a box like so. I think. It doesn't really matter which way they go. I just want it. This is a butterfly. I want that to be going the right way. I found this flower that's kind of that purplish color. And I thought maybe that would look nice on these with the branches. You know, maybe just on the side like that. And maybe I can find some other things to sew on to these pieces as well. And then I thought I would just sew them together. Let's see, oh, here it is. See that one? Okay, that doesn't go the right way now. I thought it would go, okay, wait a minute. No, I want the butterfly to go like that. So I'm not going to worry about where the flowers are going. I think just the whole outside will be visually the same flower. I've already stitched in here. I'm going to do a little bit more in here, and then I'll start adding some lace or elements like this on the outside. So that's something I'm working on. I'll tell you, these little boxes to me, they're addictive. They really are. I could just find so many uses for them, and I like them sitting around. I really do. So these here, I still haven't finished. This is part of some stitching. This one, I've got all the running stitches on it, so it's ready to go around. And these two also need to be stitched. But I started working on that, and I gave up. I didn't give up on this. I'm just that way. You know, I'll start something, and then I find something else that excites me, and I'll get going. But this is cute. So I will be back, and I will be working on this in this next part of the video. Okay? See you soon. Hello, I'm back. I am not quite sure where I left off my last video, because I did it a few days ago. So I know I want to keep working on this little box to hold my tags in, and I finished up the other journal cover. I'm almost sure I showed you this, that I cut this in half and put an edge around all of it so that I could glue it onto the journal, which I don't have at my hand right now. But I'll show you a final finish of this probably next week, I guess. I don't know. You know, I just do this, and I don't know, I don't have a time frame. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I don't know what I want to do. It's part of that process of just having fun, laying things down and saying, oh yeah, this would be great. So what I did was, these are the sides of the box that I'm making now, and I I just laid some things down on the sides and to see if I could come up with some kind of design to put on them, and I'm not sure. Obviously, you can see I have not gone very far. I still need to stitch this one. This one's quite a bit smaller at this point because this is getting better, but I have done more stitching on this one than these. So I have these little appliques here from an old scarf, table scarf or something, which I really like this, but I don't know if it's in keeping with the rest of the box. And you know, I wasn't going to actually decorate these sides, but then I thought, oh, I don't know, maybe I want to do that. Why not? And then I have this vintage doily here that I did. I don't know if that looks good on it. I can't tell because I can't. Let me rip some of it and see if I can get. Can you see me? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe let me lift the camera up a little bit. Okay, we'll see if that helps. Sorry about that. I'm not used to doing these videos close up type. Where did I just cut it? Oh. Okay, so that's that. I just wanted to see how this would look behind something. This butterfly kind of doesn't go there. Maybe a bigger piece of that there. And I have some of this pink kind of netting. That might... I don't know. I'm not sure about that piece. So let me just leave this like that. I think I want to put a little bit of this blue on one of the pieces though, because I want to tie it in somewhat. And so that probably would go like that. And let's see, I don't know. I've got stuff. I have these fabrics. I thought maybe I could just cut out one of the flowers, but again, that's kind of bright compared to the rest. I do like this one, this peachy color flower. This was a placemat, and I was going to use it for a journal cover, but I haven't really come up with one yet. Wonder how that would look there. I have this fabric with flowers that I could cut. They're kind of too purplish. So this is going to take forever. So what I'll do is I'm just going to stitch on the piece that I've got going here, and then I'll come back. Oh, this bird would look good on there. See, you never know, right? Now that would be nice to have a pretty lace in there. Something like that. I'm going to cut around that some more. Yeah, I kind of like that. So then this butterfly actually looks nice in this. I like butterflies to kind of be up in the air where they should be. So that's nice. And I have this little bumblebee too. That would probably be cute on this one here. So what I'll do is I'll get all this pinned on, and then I'll stitch it. But I don't know how much, I don't know what you guys want to see necessarily. This piece, I cut off the edge of another doily, and I thought I would use this and put it maybe on the top, of the top edge of the see how it looks on here. I think I have enough to go all the way around the whole box. So I thought that might look nice. I'll probably take more of this off. Okay, so that's my plan for those. And on this one here, I'm going to move that right now. And I guess I'll move this too. So I'm just going to pin this in here. I'd like to add some more things to this arrangement as well, but not sure what. Okay, so now I need a color to stitch. I found this gold color, which I kind of liked against that. And then I just got some brown. Of course, I don't know where the beginning is. You never can tell. Oh, where are you? I always pull the wrong. There it is. Okay. I thought maybe I would do this brown around the wing because it has some brown in it, just to give it a little bit more color. And then use this goldish color to go around the outside, because I don't know what other color that I have that would be good. I have kind of like this yellowish color. You know, we don't always have the colors we need, or I could do white, you know, the off-white like that. But I thought I would like to give it a little bit of color. I have this, which kind of goes with the background of that, this light blue. That might look nice. I would have rather had more of a teal blue, but I don't think I do. No, too bright. All right, I'm gonna go with this goldish color because I like this color. Okay, I have a needle. I just saw it here. I can't believe it's already the end of the week. I felt like, you know, yesterday was Easter Sunday. It's just, the time has gone by so fast. And I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter. All right, so, you know, the other thing I was going to say is I like to put the embellishments on my slow stitching and stitch them on. I'm not so much about trying to stitch design, like embroidery designs. Like on this here, I keep going back to this, but this is just basics. You know, there's a few French knots right there just because. Over here, I just went across that little, I think it's a fly. You know, this is just simple stitches. This like little V shapes. Nothing is real fancy. Here's a lazy daisy, and these are lazy daisies. So you don't have to have, you know, repertoire. No, I can't say it. You don't have to know a lot of stitching. I'm going to try to do a blanket stitch if I can remember how. So when I do a blanket stitch, I come up just to the inside and go back down for that first stitch, and then I come up the same spot, and then I go to the left and then come up with the thread, if you can see, and then make sure your stitching is behind, or your thread is behind your needle when you pull it through. Whoops. This thread is not my favorite brand. What is this one? Yeah, Wonderfill. I know people like it, but I'm not crazy about it. I prefer DMC. I have a lot of balls of 12 weight, and see, this makes it so hard too to, okay, where's my little, oh, he's on another one, my pull through guy, there he is. And these little circles are called needle pullers, and they're online. You can get them, I think, I'm not sure if it's Clover or some well-known name carries them. So I've kind of got cross-stitching on my addiction list. I do like the blanket stitch. I think it makes a nice edge, especially, you know, rather than just doing a overcast. But yeah, the cross stitches keeps gets into my lap before these do. So that's why I haven't made a lot of progress on my slow stitching. I do want to make a needle roll, or I think it's called housewife, or housewife, because I think it would be neat to have all of my stuff where I can just open it up and, you know, all my needles and such would be there. Right now I have them in the needle case, my needle book, but I have to go through all the pages because I don't remember where they are. And they're kind of hard to contain in there. Things tend to fall out. Where the needle roll, even if it fell out, it would still be right in front of you, you know. I don't know. We'll see. I watched several videos of Rachel's prompt for last month. Rachel on Roxy Creations. And I watched a lot of people making them, and they were so cool. So many ideas. But that project's over, so I don't usually start those projects because I don't have the time to do it in a month. Because if I did this every day, like a lot of the stitchers, slow stitchers who do videos, they're on every day or every few days. So that's what they do when they get on. But me, I do journals and cross-stitching and all that. I probably already told you all that. Oh, why did you do that? Of course you had to fall out. It's still chilly here. I'm waiting for another warm day. We had a beautiful Easter Sunday. It was 81 degrees. And then it went down to like 30 something the next day. So we always do that in March, you know, April. And then when the heat hits, it stays until the end of summer. Having a hard time getting this to slide through my needle. And it's pretty thick here. Maybe I'm just going to have to go straight down and back up. This thread is just difficult. I don't know what it's up to. It's only when you get on camera. And I didn't bring glasses. lady do a trick. I don't know. I think maybe my needle is too skinny for this thread, though. Let's see if I have it in here. I think I have it on my other table. Here's some right here. My friend just gave it to me. Some wax. And it helps thread the needle. And then I saw this, she was a cross-stitch person, but then she just waxed her needle and then set the needle on top of her hand like, oh my goodness, can't get a grip, like this, and just slid it down, and it won't work because this needle is not quite big enough. I'll have to show you again when I have the right size needle. Oh, come on. To put you on pause so I can get that threaded. Hold on. As soon as I put you on pause, it went right in. It's something to do with with being on camera is what it is. My hands are a little chilly today too. It's hard to sew when your hands are cold. I know when I made quilts, I would hand quilt all my quilts, most of them, at anything that I thought of as being some kind of heirloom type quilt. You know, something that I made that was very unique, or as long as it didn't have tons and tons of layers of fabric, I would hand quilt it. And they'd say, how can you do that in the summertime? And I go, well, I got the air on, so I don't have to quilt all the time. I used to love it. Let's see if I can get it better. This time I'm going to put some little lick on it. It wants to split. That's the problem with this thread. And it's 2-ply, but it still shouldn't have split all the time. Okay, now to get started again, when you end and tie it off, you start at the top again of the last stitch. This is the hard part about this stitching. I could never get it through my head. Then you go back up and just do another stitch with the needle, with the thread behind your needle, and then pull it over. So it's kind of like a fake stitch right there, I guess. The same with when you start. I'm not doing a very tiny job on this. It's kind of I didn't want to take too big of a stitch, but they're about almost a 1/4 inch apart, maybe. So I think everybody enjoyed the box type video, and I'll just keep doing videos as long as, you know, there's some interest. So those who, you know, like watching my style, because it's all what it's all about, is everybody has their own style. You can watch like Corrine at I'm not sure what her whole channel is called. It's a longer name than I can remember. And the same with Christine that I watch. K3N. Now she's very, I would call her very primitive. You don't see a lot of flowers and lace and that type of thing, but very informative and a very good teacher. They're all good. They're all good, actually. I can't think of anybody who is not. And there's probably so many more out there I don't even know about. It's kind of what comes up on your channel, up on your feed, you know, what you watch. Oh, I had to be aggressive and pull that needle through. We probably do this a lot. We just don't put it together with, you know, when you're doing a video, you think about your thread coming undone, but when you're sitting at your chair or wherever you stitch, you don't think about it. You just rethread it and go on, because you're doing that mindful stitching and you're probably thinking about what you're going to have for dinner, or where you're going to go for dinner, or that kind of stuff. I don't go out to dinner very, very often because I live alone, and I never did fancy going to a restaurant by myself. You know, drive-through maybe, but not a restaurant. Oh, I'm not going to have enough to get this all. Oh, darn. All right, I'm just going to go back down in here and tie it off. I got my thread really short too, so I hope I can. Sometimes if I don't think my knot is that good, I'll leave it dangling and maybe another stitch or two will go over it, and then I can trim it up if I need to. It doesn't really matter. You know, nobody's going to see it because I'll put a backing on it. Go back up in the same top stitch here, go over, I love this little bird. It turned out so cute. I hope you were able to get the template. I checked in community on my YouTube community page, and I tried to upload it. I don't think it went through. So it should be in the Facebook page, which is Junk Journal in a Day, my Facebook group. And it would be in the files in that. Or you can find a bird anywhere. I mean, it's very easy to come about. Put that my pin cushion, which is another thing I want to make. A nice pin cushion. Okay. So he's kind of crooked, but that's all right. So now he's going to go there, and then I'm going to put this on last. So get a safety pin to hold it down. And I use safety pins because they don't poke my finger. Every time I stitch, my fingers get poked. All right, I think I might try this brown. You know, I guess it doesn't really matter. Oops, wrong needle. Where's my... Oh, there it is. There's my little aught box. I'm not sure what they call it, but I'm getting a good collection of threads and labels. Labels from the sewing thread spools. right, do I want to do a blanket stitch on this, or I guess I will. Let's see, I'm going to come up at the top and then go up to the same spot. I always have to try to remember how to do it, and then come back up. It's very thick right there with that lace behind it. It's like a crocheted thick lace. You can put more than one pin if you need to. If you really want to make sure that it does not move, because it will, you know, when you do this applique stuff, it can move on you. Just like the bird did. It moved a little bit, but not enough to make me worry about it. Most times I won't take anything out. I just go on. I just, you know, if I get one real weird stitch or something, I just leave it and move on. It's not about perfection. And it always looks nice in the end, I think. I do change my mind though on certain things like colors and stuff. And, you know, I may say start this in brown and say, oh no, you know, this is not going to work. And then I will go back and remove some stitches if I want to change the color. Sometimes I'll come back in with a different color in between these colors and accent. Introduce that color that I think would actually look better, so they blend together rather than take it all out. I used to do, well, I used to do very, very tiny quilt stitching, you know, like you're supposed to, like 12 stitches to an inch or something like that, or more than that, if you could. And then I started doing the big stitch quilting, and with a bigger needle and larger thread, and I would have to pull through with that needle puller every single stitch. Of course, I was taking more than one stitch at a time. I did the rocking motion just with the big needle, just like I did with the tiny quilting needles. They are so tiny. I don't know. I look at them now and I'm like, how did I ever do that? I don't know. But I used to, I think it was just mindful stitching again. It was just so relaxing for me. You know, because then I was still working, and you get all these issues with your jobs, and just come home and do some hand quilting. And eventually it just would be done. I really needed to go through that loop again, but oh well. Yeah, so Oh. I'm going to try to get a workspace set up where I can put my camera. And then if I decide I want to stitch, I can stitch a little on camera. And then just keep, you know, the video going. Like, stop the video and then add new video each day. Maybe. I don't know. Because right now, when I want to do the video, I have to bring everything from my other room in here to my other craft space. My other room is just a stitching room, I call it. It's like a man cave, only for a stitcher. Everything's everywhere, right at hand. Most of it's right at hand. Now, if you get to a point like this and you come over here and stitch, sometimes that point will go away. It won't look good. So what I do, if you can see what I'm doing, I go straight back down where I came out of that point, bring my needle through. That way I secure that thread there. Then I come back up right where I went down around it, about it, and then I come back with another stitch. And that will keep, and you can do that anywhere. Like, you can do that at a corner or something like that when you're doing, like, see, I should have probably done it there, because see how that thread is going a little wonky there. And when I got to that, I thought about it, and I just went ahead and went around. But that's usually what because I used to stitch a lot of blanket stitching applique before I learned how to needle turn applique, which then I got into that, and oh my gosh, I was just constantly appliquing quilts and stuff. Just, if you go back to, if you could find on my playlist, I don't know that I have a playlist, but for that, why do I have this knot there? Oh, because I came up there. Okay, go back. I'm not sure I have a playlist, but I do have a video where I shared all my quilts. I think it was like in September of 20, was when I had surgery. Maybe November. Well, I didn't have surgery. I lied. I had a pancreatitis attack. Pancreatic attack. Pancreatitis. Can't remember how to say it. Okay, so there's that. And we're going to put this back. And so you can see the wing. I kind of feel like I've lost a little bit of the wing, but I think it looks fine. All right, I'm going to get some buttons because I'm thinking a button on the if I want to use like a large button there. And then I need a button it almost like he has an eye right there, but it's kind of low. I think that's too big. Kind of a pearl button there. That's kind of sweet. I kind of like that yellow button. Now, this is a vintage button. That's a vintage button. I don't know, I think I like it. Okay, so let's see. I don't know if this is enough to tie that button down. I better just tack this in with this thread. Just sew through this a few times. Probably going through one of those twine so honestly I can't see the I'm going to tie it off. I can't see the eye of the needle to have different glasses on. Okay, that'll tack it in place at least. Okay. I don't know if I want to cut those off or not. All right, let's try this yellow button. Okay, let me get some white thread. How much time have I been on here? Oh, I may run out of time. Because I filmed a little of this a couple days ago, so I don't even know how long that video was, that section of it. I've gotten to where I don't like sewing on buttons because I don't know, I can't feel for the hole for some reason. I used to have like where I could just stab in there. I'm trying to hold the button and my nails don't want me to hold them. They're sliding against my nails, which need to be done. I just don't like going to get my nails done. I gotta sit there and wait. And it's not like you can sit there and sew while they're waiting for your nails to come off, you know. All right, one more and that should hold it, I think. Okay. Then I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna see about, I'm not going to cut that off. I'm going to let it stay behind it. So I can get this little, this might be glass, this button, it looks like glass. Yep. Let's see if it... All right. It's not probably going to go anywhere. It's not like we're manhandling this. Not like wearing clothes. You have to have the buttons on really strong. Okay. This little curly guy kind of bugs me. I might have to flatten him out. All right, so there's our little birdie. Put that. And I'm not going to trim these off. I think I'm going to leave them. I might trim them, but I don't see any reason to trim them. Okay, so that's that. And thinking about putting this up at the top. So I didn't know if I should do it before like each one separately on each square, or wait till I'm all done and just go around the whole top of the box. That might be better. And then I probably could do it from the inside. Put this lace, leave this on the inside. Yeah. But I think that would look nice. Okay. Anything else that I can add to this? I don't have that color, this teal, in hardly anything. I don't think it needs anything else. I really don't. I'm happy with the way it looks. I might go back in and stitch another row of brown. Let me I could do some seed stitching in there. I think he looks like he has two eyes, one there and one there. That's kind of weird. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. All right. Of course, this is like the thickest part of the fabric. I think I'll just do some, let me just, yeah, let me see. I was thinking about just like doing some V stitches here where it kind of looks like maybe feathers or something. Up and down, stab, stitch, chicken stitch, as Catherine would say. Is everybody waiting for the eclipse? I think it's going to be like going over us. I don't know if we're going to have a total eclipse here. Somebody said, I think we might be just a little too far west of it. I I'm not sure. But I don't have the proper eyeglasses things to look at it. But I could put a hole in the piece of paper. I remember when we were kids and they would teach us how to do that. Or maybe we had an eclipse that I had to watch when I was a kid. I don't remember. But I do remember putting that little pinhole in a black, I think it was a piece of black, like cardboard, cardstock paper. But if you had a total eclipse, like some towns are closing down all the, I guess, schools and stuff because it will just become night for a few minutes, but it could cause a lot of havoc, I guess. I think it would be scary. I live in North Georgia, so in case you wondered. If you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. And if you're a regular viewer, thank you for always coming by. Always great comments from you guys and great friendships. Feel like everybody is family. Even if not family, best friends, that's for sure. From coast to coast. And then you don't see somebody comment for a while and you kind of wonder like, oh, are they okay? Are they still out there? Or did I say something to offend someone? Which you never really want to do that, do you? All right, guys, I guess this is enough here. And I hope you are finding these boxes fun. I'm not getting bored with it because it's what I do. I mean, I love making these boxes. I could use several more. And just use them around my house. They look so much cuter than finding a box of something to put something in. I mean, obviously you can't put leftovers in it, but you can put buttons, put them on your shelf, store away things that you don't want everybody to see, paper clips. I have a whole coffee cup. It's a vintage coffee cup, but it's full of nails and screws, so if I need to hang a picture up, I've got them right there. And I might replace that with one of these little boxes. That's a thought. Okie doke. I'm gonna be done here and tie this off. So I don't know if you can see it, but I've just put a few like V stitches in there. And it, to me, it just gives it that so much more texture. I never leave my thread long enough to even get a loop. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Okay, I'm not sure about the eye. I feel like I need to move it to be a little closer to this one or something. I don't know. Maybe I should put I'm going to cut that off. I'm not happy. I think I have some other really, really tiny buttons somewhere that I was just thinking, what if I took, where is one of these that was on the corner? Could I put that there and then put a little eye? Maybe. I think it looks like a bird with that on there. I like that. And then it's going to have the matching up there. But I wish I had a itty bitty tiny. This is a glass one here. It's broke. No, it's too big. I really love broken buttons. They just have so much character. I could do that, but that's still a little too big. Oh, this one's pretty tiny. Maybe that one. This one is real tiny too. These are awful little tiny baby dresses. You know that? Look at that little tiny thing. Can't see the back. Can you see the little hole right there? Just a little tiny baby dress or doll dress or something. Okay, well, I'll find the right one. I've got some other vintage buttons. I like that color better. Kind of. That one's not bad there, actually. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see you next Sunday, unless you stop by my channel and watch some journal making, which I do on a regular basis. So I will see you then. Thank you. Bye.